And they spring to life, isn't it?
Get well over 4 meters all the way to just under 7 meters, whereas a female's max out at about 3 meters at the very largest, so that's the easiest way to tell them apart. Now this here is a female. This is about as large as a female as we'll get. You didn't quite want your food there. Well, that's all right. We'll come along with our bamboo stick over here. Full-blooded animal, which means they've got a lot less energy to actually go out and attack their prey, but also to process any food as well. So we also minimalise the amount of food that we feed them out compared to the wet season. During the wet season, we'd have 2 full tubs of this chicken, but now, as it's starting to come into that colder time of year, we'll pull it back to about 1 tub. Now, in the wild, there's no way that you would find this many large saltwater crocodiles in such somewhat of a smaller area, and that is because they are an extremely territorial animal. This big guy here, you can see he's quite a territorial boy as well. This whole area here, that's his territory, that's his home. Along one another is they've adjusted, their territorial instincts have adjusted to one another, and we're able to have them live in close proximity. Whereas out in the wild, they might have some territory that spans up to a few kilometres long. In here, their territories are about as small as this guy's one here. So that's just what they're used to. If we were to go and get 70 from the wild, plonk them in here, it'd be an absolute bloodbath. They'd go around killing one another, because in the wild, all they do is they kill each other if another one's in their territory. So they just wouldn't be able to handle it. 3 years ago. Now he's at an astonishing 4.5 metres. And we're going to get him to launch out of this water just like he would if he was launching at some birds or fruit bats sitting on an overhanging branch over the river. Yeah. Look at that. So you can see what he does. He gets that big, powerful tail of his pumping, and he's able to propel himself up to 2/3 of his body length right out of the water. Come on, mate. Come on. All right, we'll stop teasing him. We'll give it to him this time, I promise. Come on, Agro. Come on, mate. There we are, animal. There you go. Down it goes. Animal farming, because the French love their crocodile leather, right? And when they took away the farming, it meant that they were still after a demand of crocodile leather. So then poaching started, and there was illegal hunting here in WA and across the rest of the top end. So Malcolm opened up a crocodile farm only on a small scale to allow to be able to supply the French while the numbers in the wild were able to rejuvenate. Now the number of wild crocodiles is back up nice and high. There is no need for us to farm anymore with our original intentions of why we started the farming. So now we just focus on the conservation, the continued conservation efforts that Malcolm started with all these wild crocodiles that he went out and saved, which we're going to touch on as we move a little bit later on onto our wild crocodiles here. And Shy is one of our problem crocs here as well. You can see he's sitting right. Yeah, look at him, he's ready to go. Oh, chill out. I need to go biting him. Get this pearl float out. And then we can get Shy his food. Get him his chicken for today. All right, come on. Up you come. How's the pop? How's that? That's that jaw pressure in full motion right there. And then we get something to Mrs. Shy as well. Come on. Open up. And then look, he tries to get himself all the way over. So then I got to go and try and manoeuvre him back down. I get the stick in there. Oh, look at that. You made me snap my stick, mate. Look at him. He's just so excited. He wanted to come and say g'day. He wanted to come and give me a big old kiss. Back you go. Why do we go and flip this back around here? Oh, back you go. Now, if my stick was a bit more proper, I'd be able to get in there, and what I'll do is I'll get his foot here. We'll take his foot down, and that's usually enough for him to back on down. Look at him, he's just sitting there. You're going to give him a scratch, or maybe not here. Oh. All the way up on the feeding bay like that, it's not ideal. Come on. He knows this is how we can get his chicken. Up you come. Come on. Back it goes. And then we can get a bit to the missus there as well. Chill out, you've had your bit, Ranger. You can see how we got his name. We like to name our crocodiles here about the way that they look or their characteristics. Done to that there, he's absolutely demolished it. If you get a brand new pearl float and a sledgehammer, you'd struggle to even put a scratch in there. That truly just goes to show how strong they really are. Croc here at the park as well. Come on. Down it goes. Now all these crocodiles in these rows, except for a couple, they're all wild crocodiles. And ideally they should still be in the wild. They shouldn't have to be here in captivity. Now since they're protection crocodiles, it would deem problem crocodiles. A lot of the stories of them say hanging around in rivers on stations eating stock. Anyway, after that he went back in the water when they came back the next day. So they were like, oh geez, well, we can't beat this guy here. So they called up Malcolm and Malcolm went up and caught him. So that's how we got his name, One Eye. And we're going to get him his chicken here today. There you are. Mrs. One Eye here, she always goes at One Eye. I don't know why, but you can see, look, she's trying to bite him on the foot. So what we'll do here is we're going to distract One Eye. We're going to give him a little bit of a rub here. Oh, come on, it was right next to you there. You can do better than that. And we'll drop this next bit of food in here for One Eye. Come on.